March is Spirituality Awareness Month. So Dawn, your natural hormone balancing specialist, giving you some tips that can help you with your overall spiritual life, just to keep you in alignment with your mind and your heart, which is going to help lower cortisol, one of the biggest things that lowers cortisol, and helps you balance your sex hormones. So we talked about many types of things: surrendering, how to start your day, how to have a sanctuary in your head, how to contemplative pray, which is feeling your prayers. So lastly, I just want to talk a little bit about forgiveness. And forgiveness is such an important thing, because forgiveness isn't really for the other person. That person could be dead, they could have moved away, or you just can't see them anymore. Forgiveness is more for ourselves. So forgiveness is something that is going to help calm our nervous system. It's going to let us surrender and give up. And for me, I mean, we've all had things done to us. And I think the most hurtful things are the things that are done like intentionally, like the person knows they're doing it, but they don't really care. Other people, they cut you off on the road. Like, I don't really think about that kind of stuff. I don't have road rage or anything like that. And that person probably doesn't even know they're doing it. But when a family member or a friend or a lover hurts you, that's hard. So what I encourage people to do is, of course, you get very defensive. I can't believe they did that. They should have known. But think about it. Most people don't do things intentionally to hurt you. I remember my ex-husband years ago, he would smoke. Now, I hate smoking, okay? Most people do. Your breath smells of smoke. But I took it like, my dad died of cancer, and you know that I'm scared that you're going to die of cancer, so I can't believe you're doing that. I'm making it all personal. And it's not. He's smoking because he's either got an addiction or he's got a problem. So let's think sometimes people aren't always doing things, and believe me, I have to remind myself of that, to try to hurt us. They're just living their lives. So you don't want people judging you for that. So let's not judge other people. But also look into that person's history. Let's say I grew up, totally making this up, but my dad beat me all the time. Okay. That's not the case with me. Actually, my father died, but when I was young. But let's just say I have a father that beat me all the time. Well, or God forbid, sexually molested me or something. That's terrible. I don't even know how people get through things like that. I really don't. But let's say that's your plight and that's what happened to you. So you can be, I'm the victim. I can't believe he did that. I was a little girl. And you're right about all that. But what I would do is I would research, talk to my mom, maybe talk to my dad down the road about, find out what was his childhood like. And then if I found out that he was violently beaten or maybe even sexually abused by his father, it doesn't make it right, but it makes it a little bit more understandable, right? Have you heard hurt people hurt people? Right? I mean, if you're delightfully happy and you have money and you're in a great relationship, you're in love, everything's perfect, are you going around hurting people or being mean to people or beating them up or molesting? No, there must have been something that happened to that person and then they're carrying it on. Now, I believe that doesn't exonerate them from, any type of guilt, or they shouldn't have done, they still shouldn't have done it. And there's so many things that we can learn that can stop that. Okay. I was yelled at and criticized, so I'm not going to do that to my daughter. Or I was beaten or molested, I'm certainly not going to let that happen to my kids. And I get that. And we can try to do that as parents, but it doesn't always happen. But I think the biggest thing is to try to understand the person that hurt you. And then in that understanding, you can form some sort of compassion. And then from compassion, you have a place of understanding and forgiveness. So forgiveness is just such an important thing, because it literally, there's research that gratitude is one thing that does something for the central nervous system as well, get you out of the fight or flight, but also forgiveness does the same thing. So forgiveness is something that as we move ahead in life, if we learn to master that, we can just throw things over our shoulders and not let them build up. And building them up, we might forget about it, but it's stored in our body, especially if it's trauma. And it will affect the hormones. It'll affect your neurochemicals. It'll affect your spirituality, your connection with God. And that's why forgiveness is one of the most important things. So hopefully you've enjoyed this and learned something, but knowing that balancing your hormones, your sex hormones and your cortisol is always related to how you're feeling and your emotions. And our emotions can be kept in check when we have that spiritual connection and our mind and our heart are aligned. Have a wonderful rest of your month. Thanks for watching.